you, what up? Welcome to my channel, welcome back, I'm Maryam, and welcome to my first foundation review of 2022. Not only is it a foundation review, it is actually a review of the new complexion collection from JACLYN Cosmetics by JACLYN Hill. This is very exciting for me. I am really eager to get my hands on all these products, slap them onto my face as I have, and of course, give you a wear test, check-ins throughout the day, a Team Truth style review. So if you guys are here for it as much as I am, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, and hit that notification bell so you can watch all of my Wednesdays and Sundays videos. And now let's get into this video. JACLYN Cosmetics Complexion Collection. Here we come. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. I am thrilled for this video. JACLYN Hill has a complexion collection. Let's just say it together. JACLYN Hill has a complexion collection. Okay, so first of all, we have this big, beautiful PR package with all these different ladies on the front. I love the representation. I love the fact that there's different skin tones. This is very promising. I like it. Next, let's open up the package. Oh, it's all lit up. This is so extra, and I find that this is so very JACLYN, very on brand, and I love it. I love this extra side of JACLYN Cosmetics. I feel like this is very cool. Wow, I am very well lit. Like, should I just keep this package here so that we can see all of my freckles bouncing back? For now, I'll keep it just for fun. So, in this complexion collection, we have two products. First, we have a foundation. This is what it looks like. 30 milliliters, 1 fluid ounce. This is a skin perfecting blurring tint. Facts, straight from my girl Trend Mood. This is a $34 product. It is a blurring sheer coverage skin tint, available in 12 shades. 12 shades because each shade is supposed to be very flexible and it's supposed to fit a variety of different skin tones. I can kind of understand why they have such a limited amount of shades, given the fact that it's a sheer complexion product. It could potentially work for multiple skin tones. In this PR package, I was sent 3 shades, the light medium, medium, and medium tan. So I'm gonna test those out just to see which one fits the best. And also, we have a concealer. The concealer is $26 each. It's called the Faux Filler Perfecting Concealer. Comes with a nice little wand applicator. And this one is available in 35 shades, so that's really nice. Buildable medium to full coverage concealer that visibly brightens, blurs, and flexes with skin for a flawless finish all day long. Now, all these products will be available on January 11th. That is, I believe, Monday. So this video is right on time. All right, so now let's swatch all of these. Okay, I'm getting a little bit blinded by the lights here, so I think I'm gonna close this PR package and set it aside. I've got nothing on my face, no primer, so I'm just gonna swatch the shades real quick. We've got the light medium. We have a pump here. I'm gonna pump some to the back of the hand. Oh, that came out rather fast. I'm wondering if there's a description of each of the shades on JACLYN Cosmetics. Like, I would love to know what's the undertone of the light medium, because right now, looking at it on the back of my hand here, it looks a little bit peachy, but let's see how it blurs out. Here is light medium. Very interesting blend here. The product itself is appearing very balmy. I'm not sure if I like that for my oily AF skin type. Also, it feels a little bit sticky, so it's actually hard to blend out. You see that? It's kind of just gliding around everywhere. I mean, I know, granted, I'm doing it with a finger. I don't know. I'm not really like super into the formula, like upon first impression. I just feel like it's a little too balmy for my liking. Ooh, medium looks like it's more of a olive undertone compared to the light medium. You can kind of tell that. I'm gonna test that one out on my forehead. Yeah, definitely a little bit more of a greener, yellower base. Let's see how that blends out. Having just a bit of trouble with my finger. And if you're new to my channel, this next thing I say is something that I say often. So I'm saying it for you, newbies. My forehead is like practically flawless compared to the rest of my face. Most of my problem areas are on my jawline, right here in the pore zones. That's where I break out. That's where I have like a lot of acne scars, a lot of weird like peeling skin. But my forehead, on the other hand, is very smooth. It doesn't have any like lines or texture or anything like that. And I will say that this product blended out a lot easier on my forehead, whereas over here on my jawline, it looks like it's clinging on to some dry patches from like old acne scars. So I'm not really loving that, but it's something that I'm noting, and it's something that is telling me that this product might be suitable for people with really good skin. I mean, really sheer coverage products generally are more suitable for perfect skin, but this is supposed to be a blurring and like skin perfecting product, so I just had to mention that. All right, I am going to go for the medium tan. I'm gonna pump some to the back of my hand. I will say it pumps out really easily. Here is the medium tan. This is probably more suited for like the rest of my body rather than my face, but I will try it out on this side of the face. Honestly, medium tan works as well. Light medium is just like a pinch too cool for my liking. This is just like a pinch tan for where I'm at right now. So the medium is the one for me. It's settled. All right, here are the 3 shades one more time. I'm gonna show you a quick close-up. For those of you in the medium range, hope this is helpful. Yeah, you can clearly see the difference in the undertones with the close-up on my hand. Definitely the medium and the medium tan are a bit more on the olive side as opposed to the light medium, which is definitely more peachy. I'm gonna remove just this side so I can swatch the concealers next, and then I will apply everything properly. Oh, the cool thing about the concealer is that they actually have the undertone written on the bottom. So for example, this light medium is a yellow undertone. This light medium is a peach undertone. Then we have a medium peach, we have a light medium pink, we have a medium golden, and a medium neutral. So that's really, really good to know. All right, so let's begin with the light medium pink. Here we go. Oh, did I just flip the bird? This is probably something that I could use in the under eye to brighten a little bit and even cover. At first impression, this feels very, very creamy to me. Next, we have light medium peach. Light medium peach, in my mirror, looks like it's leaning a little bit yellow, or at least more yellow than the pink. Next, we have light medium yellow. Yeah, and the light medium yellow definitely is making the peach look more peach. And this is clearly the yellow one out of the 3. Well, so far, the undertones are really on point. All right, now here we go with the medium peach. Remember, there are 35 shades and I have 6 from the range. Whoa, medium peach and light medium yellow are almost identical. They're very, very close. I'm sure they blend out differently, but still, these two are very similar. Next, we have the medium neutral. And lastly, the medium golden. Medium golden definitely looks very, very saturated to me compared to the rest, where the rest are a little bit more skin-like, I guess, on me. But the golden one is just leaning a pinch orange for my preference. And usually I am a golden undertone, but in this complexion collection of concealers, I would say I'm definitely leaning in the neutral to peach undertone and also the yellow. All right, here we go. Thumbnail face. So now I'm gonna remove that and I'm going to apply everything onto my face as I would if I were actually doing my makeup. And let's see what happens. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I am going to apply primer. Just because I noticed that this balmy consistency was kind of sticking to some of my acne spots and scars. So I wanna even out my skin tone as I would before any foundation application. I'm gonna use my YSL Touche Eclat Blur Primer, the very expensive one that I've been loving lately. Just gonna blur out and prime my complexion. You know, my skin is actually not on the bad side right now, but I did have a bit of a breakout right before New Year's, so there's a lot of scars. Like, my skin is still healing. There's a lot of like these peeling particles on old acne scars. And mind you, I actually exfoliated this morning. I'm gonna go for the medium. I'm gonna apply a little bit to this cheek first, then this cheek. Let's see how that blends out. And then from there, I'll move on to the forehead, my flawless forehead. Okay, on top of that primer, this is applying like silk. Literally gliding on seamlessly and looking really, really nice. In my monitor, in my mirror up close, in my further mirror. Huh. Now come to think of it, actually, the only patchy foundation was the light medium. The medium and the medium tan both swatched fairly normal. So maybe that was just like a foundation that was sitting for too long. Maybe that color needed to be shaken or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's my primer that's working wonders for me. No, really, that definitely perfected and beautified the complexion. It 100% looks better than before. And last night I actually didn't get too much sleep. Yesterday was a terrible day and I spent a lot of the day crying. Sorry for the TMI, but that's what happened. So today I woke up with my face and just like my complexion looking very lackluster. My eyes were very puffy. So although my skin is not at its worst, it's not really at its best. But I will say this complexion product is really helping bring it back together for me. Okay. All right, so this is one layer on the face. I gotta say, it looks pretty damn good. I have just like a couple of spots that I need to touch up, but overall, it looks really radiant, really beautiful. I will say the finish isn't a luminous finish. It's a very natural type of finish. Not too matte or sticky. It's very skin-like. It's very believable. And with the right primer, this is not streaky at all. This is not clinging to any of my imperfections. So far, so good. Let's see if I can add a second layer just to see if it's buildable or not. Going for the same shade medium, just a little bit here. Maybe just a pinch here. Let's see if this blurs out my freckles a little bit. Not that I want to, but I'm just doing this for the test. You know what? I actually think that did something. All right, let's do that again here. I'm impressed. I mean, of course, let's see how it wears, but for now I'm gonna set it aside, and for now I will say this is the first balmy type of complexion product that I actually like at first impression. Usually I tend to stay away from those formulas altogether just because I'm very oily and it doesn't work for my textured skin, but this is very promising. Okay, so now out of the concealers, I know I'm definitely not the light medium pink or the medium golden. Those seemed like a little too extreme of an undertone for me, but I guess let's go for the light medium peach for the under eye, just because I do want to brighten. Yeah, like that. I don't know if I should let it sit or if I should just blur it out immediately. I usually like to use this type of brush, so that is what I'm gonna do. This brush is from Rare Beauty. Oh yeah, this concealer is thick, honey, and you need to buff it out quickly. So letting it sit on the face the way that I did is probably not ideal. Also, this might be a product that is best blended out with a sponge. I'm not really a sponge girl. Something in the consistency of the sponge makes my fingers feel funny, like they tingle and then they start to peel. So I don't like to use sponges. Okay, that is a very full coverage AF concealer. I will say it almost has a liquid to powder type of finish. Like, it actually looks pretty powdered down right now on my under eye, but I'm thinking I might actually want to go for the light medium pink, the one that was obviously very pink, just because I want to see if it actually brightens. I really like a bright concealer under my eyes. I think so does JACLYN. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of that on top. Oh man, this thing ain't going nowhere. This is impressive. You gotta move quickly with this guy. Like, you see this product, you see it. It is covering. It is full covering. Whew. Up close though, not gonna lie, it does look a little bit cakey. So some of you might not be into that, but let me just show you a close-up. There we go. Concealer, super close-up. This one clearly needs to be blended out a little bit better. But you see what I'm talking about? It just looks like makeup sitting on my face. Yeah, I definitely think there's like a slight learning curve because it is very full coverage and it has that powdery finish. It almost feels a little bit inflexible. Like, you gotta move quickly, you know, you have to find the right product to blend it out with. But I'm just gonna leave it as that for now. Okay, I think for the rest of my face, I am going to, I don't know if I should go for the medium neutral or the light medium yellow. I thought they were pretty similar. All right, let's go for the medium neutral. I think this might be the closest. I'm gonna try to cover some spots. Like, I have a spot right here, I have a spot right here, another one right here, big one right here on the chin. Oh, and also a spot right here on the forehead. All right, let's see how quickly I need to buff that out. Should probably went for the light medium yellow. You can kind of see the spots now on my skin, but you know what? That's okay. It's my first time and I'm really not that mad. So the concealer that I chose for my face, the medium neutral, wasn't an exact match. So now that I've blended it out, you can clearly see the texture difference between the foundation and the concealer, which is not ideal, especially when you're covering spots. But let's see if I can get away with it once I apply powder and everything else. You know what? Maybe this is not a product that I would use for spots. Maybe this is just good for the under eye. But then again, it is so full coverage that it's almost like I wouldn't pair these two together. I need to see a JACLYN Hill video on how to use these products properly, because right now I'm kind of just guessing and I'm just doing what I would normally do, but I want to know what exactly she had in mind and like what are some of her preferred methods to use these. All right, for the under eye on this side, I'm gonna go ahead and use my one size translucent setting powder just to lock everything in place. Not that it's going anywhere. It seems like it's pretty solid on there, especially that concealer. And then for the rest of the face on this side, I'm gonna use my Charlotte T Airbrush Flawless Finish just to set everything together. And this will also kind of help me blur some of the mistakes that I made with the concealer. And then on this side of the face, I'm actually gonna reach for JACLYN's palette. This one is the Brightening and Setting palette. So the reason why I'm reaching for this is because it's also from JACLYN Cosmetics, and generally speaking, foundations and concealers from the same brand are formulated to work best with their powders. So since she already came out with powders, I am going to put them to use today. So I think I'm just gonna reach for this shade here. I believe this is either the medium or the tan palette, but this shade is Caramel. So I am going to use that to set the under eye. Ooh, honey, that under eye is looking cakey. But I will say that this powder is working really great with all the products. Like so far, it's actually making a lot of sense. Damn, this side of the face looks really perfect on camera. And it looks really good in my mirror too. Granted, I only had one spot to conceal on this side, and here I had multiple spots that I tried to conceal, and then I realized that it was the wrong shade, and you know, it's looking just a little patchy here. But yeah, this is pretty impressive. Though the under eye is just a little much. Let's put it that way. So now I'm gonna apply the rest of my face products. I'm gonna bronze up, I'm gonna add some blush. For the bronzer, I'm just gonna go for the darker shade from the same palette. So it's not even really a bronzer. It's just slightly darker than the previous powder, just to give me a little bit more dimension in my face. This is a Laura Mercier powder brush. And then for the blush, I'm gonna go for this blush shade from JACLYN's Bronze and Blushing Duo. This is the shade Lilac Love, and it is very similar to Pantone's Color of the Year, very peri. I'm very much into all these lilacs and periwinkle lavender shades for the winter. So I'm gonna just add a little bit of that for just a hint of cool. There we go. Now for my eyes, I'm gonna reach for this PIXI Amethyst liquid shadow. Again, sticking to my very peri theme. Just gonna add a little bit of that. Oh, I like this formula, it's very moussey. I'm going for a quick little one and done look. I'm gonna buff that out with a brush. Quick little frosty moment. Curling the lashes, top and bottom. Adding a coat of mascara. I'm gonna leave the lower lashes alone. Okay, for the lips, I'm gonna go for this Wet n Wild Cloud Pout Marshmallow Lip Mousse in the shade Fluffer Mutter. Pretty and delicate. Rather dainty. All right, you guys, so I am done with the makeup. So now let me just give you my initial first impression after having just completed this face using the new JACLYN Cosmetics Complexion collection. I will say that I really, really like this side of the face where I used only JACLYN Cosmetics products outside of the primer, which was the YSL. But I like how everything just blended in. I like how the powder perfected the complexion, and I love how natural yet radiant it looks. This side of the face looked good up until the point that I applied the wrong color concealer. So right now I can clearly tell all the mistakes that I made. You could see that my spots are a little bit magnified, and same thing with my forehead. You can kind of just like see the wrong concealer shade, but outside of that, everything looks pretty good. I will say the concealer under the eyes is looking very thick and obvious. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I'm thinking it might be my technique. I'm thinking I might need to try this out with a sponge. In any any case, I need to see how this wears on my oily AF skin. I'm gonna give you some check-ins throughout the day and also a wear test at the end of the day with my final verdict. Now, let's cue in some of that good old time warping music and let's hit it. Hey guys, I am in the backyard. We just finished filming some content for IG. There's tons of snow in the back and I'm feeling like a snow bunny. But this is my foundation check-in. This is what it looks like on this side and this is what it looks like on this side. I gotta say, pretty good so far, and it's been 3 hours. And now for the wear test. All right, it's the end of the day, back in the filming studio for the final wear test. This is what my face is looking like at the end of the day, wearing JACLYN Cosmetics' new Skin Perfecting Blurring Tint Foundation, as well as the concealer. Let's zoom on in and let's observe the skin. Let's start with this side of the face first. So if you remember, this is the primer that I used for both sides, but I used the One Size setting powder and the Charlotte T Airbrush Flawless finishing powder on this side of the face. Also, I had a little bit of trouble matching the concealer to my skin tone to camouflage some of these spots, and because of that, I feel like the spots are not ideal and not the way that I would like for them to look at the end of the day. You can actually see them a little more than before. So that is this side of the face. I will say the skin tint definitely has worn pretty well. The under eye, on the other hand, looks just a little bit cakey for my liking, just a little too noticeable to me. It actually looks like I'm wearing makeup under my eyes. Also, the color isn't exactly the perfect shade for the under eye for my preference. And moreover, I feel like you can actually see the difference in texture between the skin tint and the concealer. All right, let's move on to this side where I used all JACLYN Cosmetics products, and I will say everything here looks so much better. Also, I will say that my skin on this side of the face is just a little bit better today. Granted, I don't have any of the spots. I didn't cover up any spots here, but the concealer under the eye has the same issue. I can definitely see that the concealer is very matte, very heavy, looks a little bit cakey and a little bit crinkly, but I'm not gonna rule it out and I'm not gonna call it a bad product. I feel like I really do need to play around with it some more, and there's definitely a learning curve because it's such a thick, heavy formula and it almost has a powdery finish. I feel like I really need to perfect my technique. Anyway, the rest of the face looks pretty solid. I don't mind the little bit of a shine that I have going on here. I actually think it looks quite natural and pretty. I do think that the product has worn off on my nose. There's really nothing left, and my forehead, I will say, looks pretty good. Overall, here are my thoughts. Upon first initial application, I was not impressed with the way that the light medium shade was blending out, even after I swatched it. But after testing out the medium tan and wearing the medium, I have to say this is a really promising product. I like the way that it perfected and blurred my skin. I like how it worked with the YSL primer. It was a really great combo and it lasted all day. I don't see myself being like an oil slick like I usually am at the end of the day. Everything looks pretty well put together. So I am really intrigued by this. I am really into it. I am excited to wear this again, and I definitely will be reaching for this blurring skin tint more. I like this product and it's definitely for sure something that I am impressed by. Now the concealer, on the other hand, I don't really have an opinion on it yet. Like I said before, I find that there's a learning curve with this product. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit thicker than most concealers. Almost has a powdery finish to it, which doesn't give you a lot of playing time, doesn't give you a lot of room to blend it out. Also, I don't think these two products are compatible with one another, meaning I don't think they are meant to be worn together. The textures are totally different. The concealer is very matte and very full coverage, whereas the skin tint is very natural and very radiant. When wearing those two together, you can definitely see the difference between the two, especially if you're spot concealing, especially if you're brightening under the eyes. So those are my 2 cents. Wouldn't necessarily wear them together. Definitely will reach for and wear this again. Still have to play around with this and still have to kind of like find the proper way to use it. But so far, I'm not really impressed with the application. Gotta keep it real. So those are my thoughts on the JACLYN Cosmetics Complexion collection. I definitely think it's intriguing. I definitely think there's something there. I can't wait to see more from this complexion collection. I definitely would want to see a primer from this collection, because although this is good and this works with everything, I want something a little bit more affordable, and I definitely want to see JACLYN's take on a primer. That would be amazing. All right, you guys, I am talking a lot. This is my final wear test, my final 2 cents. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing. I am going to zoom on out, and you are going to click on my next 2 videos to check those out. See you in the next one. Peace.